How you doing? My name's John Granger. I am in Bishopville, South Carolina, standing by a sign in Bishopville, South Carolina, dedicated to Captain Peter DuBois, or DuBois, 1755 to 1846. Sign says, and it reads, after serving in the militia under General Francis Marion during the Revolutionary War, this military patriot lived near here and operated a ferry known as DuBois Crossing, close by the present bridge over Lynches River. His grave is in the family cemetery 100 yards north. The focus of this video is going to be Lynches River. Let's tell you as we travel a little bit further. Now the reason I'm doing this video, I was traveling down Highway 15 here in South Carolina. And as I was coming down this highway, I was looking at all the cotton on the ground. If you see a lot of this white stuff, it looks like snow. It's actually cotton. You're in a big cotton producing state. You remember, of course, South Carolina was one of the original 13 colonies and also one of the largest slave owning states, and one of their main staples was cotton. I mean, not a lot to be mystified about. That was the past. And of course, cotton is one of the biggest industries. And, today the difference between the cotton industry now and the cotton industry then is you didn't have people forced to pick it. Well, people now aren't forced to pick it. And, now they have different machines that do it for them. And they make a good amount of money off doing it. But, again, like I said, a lot of the land you see around here that's owned by different families have been passed down. It's actually land that used to be plantations and slave-owned land, and, well, not slave-owned land, land that was harvested and worked by slaves. But anyway, I guess the big thing was, as I was coming over this bridge, I was kind of going slow because I'm on this narrow 2-lane road. And I just couldn't quite believe I saw what I saw. So I thought maybe, I was tripping. So I figured I'd go back and check it out a little bit. So, what I saw was this sign up here. And I just thought it slightly odd that I'm in one of the original 13 colonies. And I saw a sign that says Lynches River. Now I know that may, to some people does not sound too big of a deal, but William Lynch was a slave owner in some of the original 13 colonies in the 1700s. And this man was very, very infamous, or quite infamous, should I say, for a letter that was written after him, or after his death rather, called The Making of a Slave. It was a letter. I don't know if he wrote the letter himself, but there you have it, Lynches River. There's even a plaque out here dedicated. And this is what it says. And the bridge is actually called William Deschamps Memorial Bridge in memory of William Green Deschamps, member State Highway Commission. Now, I just talked to someone and I asked them, I wanted to get a little bit more clarification about the bridge. And the lady just told me the river itself is named after William Lynch. Now, I'm gonna read something to you, and I want you to take a look at this river that's named after this guy, William Lynch, because I just want to kind of open your eyes to a few things. And I guess it's amazing if you actually sit back and you think about it. Bear with me, I'm not a professional photographer, and I'm kind of, going off of the fly here. I find it slightly ironic. I'm standing on the banks of the Lynch River. I want to read something to you called The Making of a Slave that was written after a statement or some quotations by William Lynch on a river bank, very much like this one. Well, without all the bushes and the brushes and the trees before it all grew up, this was all plantation property. This was all, slave land. This speech was delivered by William Lynch. Hold on. This speech was delivered by William Lynch on the bank of the James River colony in Virginia in 1712. Lynch was a British slave owner in the West Indies. He was invited to the colony of Virginia in 1712 to teach his methods to slave owners. The term lynching is derived from his last name. This was written the speech was given and delivered on December 25th, 1712, which this Christmas would be exactly 301 years. I greet you here on the bank of the James River in our year of the Lord, 1712. First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I am here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves. Your invitation reached me on the modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented with some of the newest and still the oldest methods for control of slaves. Ancient Rome would envy us if my program is implemented. As our boat sails south on the James River, named for our illustrious King, King James, whose version of the Bible we cherish, I saw enough to know that your problem is not unique. While Rome used cords of wood as crosses for standing human bodies along its highways in great numbers, crucifixion, you are here using the tree and the rope on occasions. I caught the whiff of a dead slave hanging from a tree a couple miles back. You are not only losing valuable stock by hangings, stock being us, slaves, black people, niggers called back then. You are having uprisings. Slaves are running away. Your crops are sometimes left in the fields too long for maximum profit. You suffer occasional fires. Your animals are killed. Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am not here to enumerate your problems. I am here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if it is installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. He said at least 300 years. That was up until the year 2012. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined the number of differences among the slaves and make the differences bigger. I used fear, distrust, and envy for control of the black man that we enslaved. These methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies and will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age, but they're only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade. Their color, our skin color, light skin, dark skin. Okay? There's intelligence, size, sex, size of plantation, and status on plantations. Attitude of owners, whether the slaves live in a valley, on a hill, east, west, north, or south. East Coast, West Coast, East Side, West Side, my hood, your hood. It's amazing, right? Even back then, he knew, they developed this way of separating us by where we live, by how we look, by the color of our skin, by our anatomy, by our age, by our height, by our weight, by our intelligence, by our social statuses, by our social classes. This is how they separated us, all right? Whether they have fine hair, coarse hair, tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I should give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust. Distrust is stronger than trust, is what he said. And envy stronger than adulation. Meaning, if somebody envies someone, their emotions are stronger than feelings of love, than being able to hold them high, than holding them in high regards. Respect or admiration. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, should carry on and will become self-refueling. read that again. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on themselves and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years. Self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years. I'm gonna move this over just slightly because of the way the sun is. I don't want it to, He's saying we're gonna watch each other and we will fuel ourselves because I wear blue, they wear red. I live on the east side, he lives on the west side. He's got a nice car, I'm riding the bus. He's got a nice house, I live in the projects. They will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male. Disrespect, how we treat our elders. And the young black male against the old black male. How everybody young think old people don't know nothing. Young folks robbing older folks and jacking older people and raping some of these older people, breaking into their house and taking their social security checks and even doing online scams. You must use the dark-skinned slave versus the light-skinned slave. And the light-skinned slave versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male. He pitted our own women against us and us against our own women. How you have women there that holler, I'm independent. I'm INDEPENDENT. I don't need a man. I don't need a man for nothing. My son don't need no dad. I can do this all by myself. Now you got women that think, hey, I can raise this boy as a man to be a man without a man. And then you got men who call them women bitches and hoes and tricks and tramps and sluts. And they are incorporating the mentality into this woman. I don't want you unless you twerking, unless you naked, unless you showing me all your body parts. And even then, if you're not calling a young black girl or a younger female a bitch or a hoe, she think you weak or she lame because we were pitted against each other. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks. It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. So he made it to where all the white people knew that they shouldn't trust us, they couldn't believe in us, we were less than men, we were animals, we were property. But he had to make it to where the slaves trusted them but didn't trust each other. You know what I mean? They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kits, they like it was a package. Or your keys to control. Use them. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful of each other. Let's make a slave. It was the interest and business of slaveholders to study human nature, and the slave nature in particular. Sad, but real. Somewhere right here on a bank like this is where this was read. A packet, a kit, control of us. And all they did was use our differences. And he said, if instilled, if indoctrinated correctly, we will be self-fueling and self-refueling for 300 years, maybe even thousands. The 300-year mark was up Christmas of last year. This is the 301st year. We're getting even stronger with the hatred, the way we feel about each other. For what reason? Light skin, team light skin, team dark skin, team curly hair, short hair, ain't going there. Long hair, don't care. Crips, Bloods, Vice Lords, Gangsters, Spanish Cobras. I ain't got nothing to do with this, I guess, but East Coast, West Coast, East Side, West Side, even in certain cities like Houston. I love Houston, but Houston even got it to where certain sides of the city ride different color cars, different color slabs. The green over here, the blue over here, the red over here, the black over there. They even separate that way. You got people banging hoods. Oh, I'm from the Foot Homes, or I'm from Eastern Garden, I'm from Western Garden, I'm from the East Side, or I'm from the West Side, or I'm from this block, you from that block, I'm on this side of the street, you live on that side of the street. So we hate each other simply because of where we live, or our social status. You got people, thugs hate Crips, Crips hate thugs, smart hate dumb, dumb hate smart, light skin hate dark skin, tall hate short, short, fat hate skinny, big butt hate little butts. It's just we find any reason we can to separate and hate each other. And they knew this, and they designed the program and implemented it a way that we would control, watch, and hate ourselves. We would refuel and destroy ourselves. Do you know more brothers, more African American males have died in Los Angeles County in the last 20 years than all wars the U.S. have participated in combined? Listen to what I just said. More black males have died in L.A. County, Los Angeles, crippling in blood, than all wars the U.S. have participated in combined. Well, let me put it like this. More African Americans male died in L.A. County than the Civil War. So more black males have died on our own soil in L.A. County than they did in the Civil War. All right. It was the interest and business of slave holders to study human nature, and the slave nature in particular, with a view to practical results. I and many of them obtained astonishing proficiency in this direction. They had to deal not with earth, wood, and stone, but with men, and by every regard they had for their own safety and prosperity, they needed to know the material on which they were to work. Conscious of the injustice and wrong, they were every hour perpetuating and knowing what themselves would do. Were they the victim of such wrongs? They were constantly looking to the first signs of the dreaded retribution. They watched, therefore, with skilled and practiced eyes, and learned to read with great accuracy the state of mind and heart of the slave through his sable face. Unusual sobriety, apparent abstractions, sullenness, and indifference indeed. Any mood out of the common was afforded ground for suspicion and inquiry. Let us make a slave. What do we need? First of all, we need a black nigger man, a pregnant nigger woman, and her baby nigger boy. Second, we will use the same basic principle that we use in breaking a horse, combined with some more sustaining factors. What we do with the horses is we break them from one form of life to another. That is, we reduce them from their natural state in nature to where we want them to be in captivity. Whereas nature provides them with the natural capacity to take care of their offspring. I'm going to read that again. Whereas nature provides them with the natural capacity to take care of their offspring, we break that natural string of independence from them and thereby create a dependency status. I'm going to read that again. Nature provides them with the natural capacity to take care of their offspring. That's going to work. Today, in our terms, natural, providing for our offspring, that would be going to work every day. That would be farming. That would be fishing. That would be hunting. That would be doing whatever you need to do. Nature provides that. But they break the natural string of independence from them and thereby create a dependency status. Welfare, WIC, HUD. You know what's amazing about these programs? Not saying that some people don't need it and it doesn't help, but what's amazing about these programs, all of these programs are contingent upon one very important factor. There be no man in the house. You ever thought about that? No man in the house. You can get all this money from Section 8, HUD, welfare, the WIC program, TANF, all this other stuff, strictly contingent on the fact that there's no male in the home. Now, not only that, here's what's also ironic. They pursue the male for child support, and if he doesn't pay it, they incarcerate him. They lock him away. And the money, still no difference goes to the mother because she's going to receive the same amount whether the father is paying or not. But if he doesn't pay that money, it's almost like invisible money. So-called reimbursement back to the government. He is incarcerated. He loses his license. He can't work and goes to jail. It's a recurring cycle. We break the natural string of independence from them and thereby create a dependency status so that we may be able to get them useful production for our business and pleasure. Break the independency, make them dependent on the government, on welfare, on WIC, on Section 8, on HUD, on us, on each other. Make them dependent on anything else. They broke the natural status of man, the natural state of man, to where man was able to provide and take care of his own seed, his own children, his own family, his wife. Cardinal principles for making a Negro. For fear that our future generations may not understand the principles of breaking both of the beasts together. Both of the beasts, that's us and animals. The nigger and the horse. We understand that short-range planning economics results in periodic economic chaos, so that to avoid turmoil in the economy, it requires us to have breadth and depth in long-range comprehensive planning, articulating both skill, sharp perceptions. I'm going to read that again for you. We understand that short-range planning economics results in periodic economic chaos, so that to avoid turmoil in the economy, it requires us to have breadth and depth in long-range comprehensive planning, articulating both skill, sharp perceptions. Did you know that a place called Corrections Corporation of America is one of the largest entities in the United States? They plan this. They go into the elementary schools and the junior highs and they look at the attendance records. They also look at the grades, and they also look at basically your mannerisms of the children, and they can tell how many beds they need to build in the future for their penitentiaries. It's a privately owned, privately run, privately funded facility whose main purpose is to incarcerate us. Economic long planning. Think about it. Okay. We lay down the following principles for long-range comprehensive economic planning. Both horse and nigger is no good to the economy in the wild or natural state. Both must be broken and tied together for orderly production. For orderly future, special and particular attention must be paid to the female and to the youngest offspring. Both must be crossbred to produce a variety and division of labor. Both must be taught to respond to a peculiar new language. Psychological and physical instruction of containment must be created for both. We hold the 6 cardinal principle as truth to be self-evident. Sound like something else, huh? Think about it. We hold the 6 cardinal principle as truth to be self-evident. Remember, we hold this truth to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Sound familiar, huh? Based upon the following, the discourse concerning the economics of breaking and tying the horse and the nigger together, all inclusive of the 6 principles laid down about. Note, neither principle alone will suffice for good economics. All principle must be employed for orderly good of the nation. Accordingly, both a wild horse and a wild nigger is dangerous, even if captured, for they will have the tendency to seek their customary freedom, and in doing so might kill you in your sleep. You cannot rest with a wild nigger around. They sleep while you are awake. They are awake while you are asleep. They are dangerous near the family house and require too much labor to watch them away from the house. Above all, you cannot get them to work in this natural state. Hence, both the horse and the nigger must be broken. That is, breaking them from one form of mental life to another. Keep the body, take the mind. Keep the body, take the mind. In other words, break their will to resist. Now, the breaking process is the same for both the horse and the nigger, only slightly varying degrees. But as we said before, there is an art in long-range economic planning. You must keep your eye and thoughts on the key to sound economic principles. Pay little attention to the generation of original breaking, but concentrate on future generations. I'm gonna read that for you again. Pay little attention to the generation of original breaking, but concentrate on future generations. In other words, they knew that our granddads, our grandmothers, our forefathers, our fathers, the originals were too strong. They didn't focus on them. They focused on the future generations, the ones after. Now, I'm going to show you what's ironic. This was the making of a slave, but look at how now the focus in the media has been put on, your booty got to be this big. You got to have tats everywhere, bad bitches, tatted up. All our women are bad bitches now. We have no more queens. We have no more divas. Everybody's a bad bitch now. Look at all our guys, the sagging. You got grown men walking around with their entire ass out. Listen to what I'm saying. The softest part of your anatomy, your booty, is out. And this has become the new norm, that this is okay. Not only is this okay, but it's cool. The softest part of your anatomy, your booty, your back shot, you sagging. They concentrate on future generations. Look what we became. Look at the music during the 60s and the 70s, and then look what happened in the 80s and the 90s, and then look at the music in the new millennium. We went from love and happiness to I'm bad, to NWA, I'm 100 miles and running, to I'm on that good cushion alcohol. I got some bad bitches I can call. I don't know what I would do without y'all, but I'm all till I hit the wall. As long as my bitch love me, my bitch love me, my bitch love me. This is what we become. This is what they've done. The future generation, they focus. We are stupid. We are stupid. If a brother approaches a young woman now and says, hey, hello, how you doing? You're gorgeous. What's your name? She go, lame ass nigga. Square. Thirsty. What the hell is thirsty? Thirsty? I'm thirsty, but I want some water. So you telling me that a man is thirsty because he approaches you and he's interested and he's saying hello? No, he's not thirsty, he's reactive. Your booty out, your ass out. You got on jeggings, you got on see-through pants, your bottom of your ass cheeks out. The whole top part of your breast is exposed. Your whole midriff is out. You got stickers on your nipples. He ain't thirsty, he's reacting. You put it out there, he trying to put it in. So don't be calling brothers thirsty. If he thirsty, you must be the water. Wet. Our future generations, they focus on our future generations. They gave some, I'm not gonna name particular people, but they gave some rappers 20, 25, $30 million and said, hey, talk about whatever in the hell you want to talk about. Every rap song, rims, cars, clothes, bitches, dope, guns, money. That is the basis for every rap song. Rims, cars, clothes, jewelry, diamonds, bitches, ice, dope, guns, monies, clicks, guns, bust, I'll shoot you in your ass. That's it. That's the basis of every rap song. I can make a rap song just using that right there. I got my ice on, I know some bad bitches. I'm rolling in my coupe sitting on 30-somethings. I'm sitting here rolling through the block. I see a nigga that he's snitching and I get the busting in his back and blow him out, bitch, party with me. I just use 10 affirmed negatives to make a song, and if you were to put a beat to it, everybody be in the club just bouncing to it. I'm riding on 30s and I'm busting bitches in their back. They don't know I'm getting back. We're stupid. We stupid. And please believe me, it was a plan. It didn't just happen by chance. It was a plan. It was organized, long-range planning. Rock and roll, country music, R&B, reggae, none of it, no culture. White society, Hispanics, Oriental, Indian, Indonesian, nobody raps about what we rap about. And don't make it seem like, oh, it's our struggle. Everybody ain't getting shot at. Everybody ain't selling dope. Everybody ain't robbing. Everybody ain't jacking. But all of our music is now auto-tuned this, T-pained out. You don't even know what the hell these folks saying. And now it has become cool to be a drug addict. I've actually heard songs where if they say if you ain't getting high and you ain't smoking and you ain't sipping on this syrup and you ain't pulling it up, you was old lame ass nigga. Really? So now I'm a lame because I'm not a crackhead and you a crackhead and you cool? Man, stop it. Stop it. Long range planning. It has become cool to be a drug addict. It's cool to be a hoe. You got girls who they twerking for a living. Twerk team, twerk squad, all this. You have women that focus more on what my booty talking about than what I got in my brains. It ain't got nothing to do with brains or beauty. It's all about they booty. You even got booty injection, booty shots, and oh man, come on, man. Long range planning, man. Really. It was a plot, it was a plan. They said 300 years, and we will become self-refueling. You ever notice that in a black club, and especially if it's under 30, you go in there, why in the hell do you pay your money to feel uncomfortable? You gotta be strapped. Every black song you listen to, I'm sitting in the parking lot of such and such, and I'm strapped with a 9, I'm strapped with him, strapped with him, strapped with her. Every time a rapper talking about he at a club, he's strapped. He's strapped. You got black athletes going to clubs, strapped. Look what happened to Shine. Man, boy, look at how the Plaxico Burgess. I mean, cats is in the club, strapped. Because our negative nature, our nigger nature. You gonna go out to be strapped. What the hell? They concentrated on future generations. Where your daddy? You know, your mama ain't worried about it either. Let her tell it. She don't need a man. Future generations, they separated us. Therefore, if you break the female mother, if you break the mother, she will break the offspring in its early years of development. And when the offspring is old enough to work, she will deliver it up to you. For her normal female protective tendencies would have been lost in the original breaking process. For example, take the case of the wild stud horse. A female horse and an already infant horse, and compare the breaking process with two captured nigger males in their natural state. A pregnant nigger woman with her infant offspring. Take the stud horse, break him for limited containment. Completely break the female horse until she becomes very gentle, whereas you or anybody can ride her in comfort. Breed the mare and the stud until you have the desired offspring. Then you can turn the stud to freedom until you need him again. Train the female horse, whereby she will eat out of your hand, and she will in turn train the infant horse to eat out of your hand also. When it comes to breaking the uncivilized nigger, use the same process, but vary the degree and step up the pressure so as to do a complete reversal of the mind. Take the meanest and most relentless nigger, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggers, the female and the nigger infant. Tar and feather him. Tie each leg to a different horse, face the opposite directions. Set a fire and beat both horses to pull him apart in front of the remaining niggers. The next step is to take a bull whip and beat the remaining nigger males to the point of death in front of the female and the infant. Don't kill them, but put the fear of God in them, for he can be useful for future breeding. the breaking process of the African woman. Pay attention. This gonna hurt. Take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires willingly. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics. If she shows any signs of resistance in submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract that last bit of resistance out of her. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so, you spoil good economics. When in complete submission, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age. Understanding is the best thing. Understanding is the best thing. And you heard that before? Understanding is the best thing in the world. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area of the subject matter concerning what we have produced here in the breaking process of the female nigger. We have reversed the relationship in her natural uncivilized state. She would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male, and she would have a limited protective tendency towards her independent male offspring, and will raise male offspring to be dependent like her. Nature had provided for this type of balance. We reversed nature by burning up and pulling a civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles. For fear of the young male's life, she would psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent and physically strong because she has become psychologically independent. INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that mean, man? Ain't that something? She would train her female offspring to be psychologically independent. What have you got? You got the nigger woman out in the front of the nigger man and the man behind and scared. This is a perfect situation of sound sleep and economic discourse. Before the breaking process, we had to be alert, on guard at all times. Now we can sleep soundly, for out of frozen fear, this woman stands guard for us. He cannot get past her early slave molding process. He is a good tool now ready to be tied to the horse at a tender age. By the time a nigger boy reaches the age of 16, he is soundly broken in and ready for a long life of sound and efficient work in the reproduction unit of a good labor force. Continually through the breaking of an uncivilized savage nigger, by throwing the nigger female savage into a frozen psychological state of independence, by killing of the protective male image, and by creating a submissive, dependent mind of the nigger male, we have created an orbiting cycle that turns on its axis forever. Check this out. Unless an absolute phenomenon occurs and reshifts the position of the male and the female slaves, we show what we mean by example. Take the case of the two economic slave units and examine them closely. Listen to me again. We have created an orbiting cycle that turns on its own axis forever, unless a phenomenon occurs and reshifts the position of the male and the female. Role reversal. Not saying that anything is wrong with an intelligent, intellectual, educated black woman. But our women have been taught and trained they don't need a man. Men are weak. You can do it. You got it. You got women now on Facebook, Twitter, and everything else. Just wake up in the morning and the first thing they say is, I got this. I don't need no man. I'm all right. Team me. Just me and my kids. I don't need this. I don't need no man. Weak ass niggas, woo woo woo. And you got dudes who Every other word is bitch, hoe, trick, tramp, slut, this and that. You ain't shit. Baby mama, blah, 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 blah. Position, shifting, long range, economics, long-term planning. It was a plan, y'all. This is what was done to us. The nigger marriage. We breed 2 nigger males with 2 nigger females. Then we take the nigger males away from them and keep them moving and working. Say one nigger female bears a nigger female and the other bears a nigger male. Both nigger females being without influence of the nigger male image. Man, I gotta read that for you one more time. Listen to me. Say one nigger female bears a nigger female and the other bears a nigger male. Both nigger females being without the influence of the nigger male. No father. Frozen with an independent psychology. I don't need no man. I can do this. Will raise their offspring in reverse positions. The one with the female offspring will teach her to be like herself. The woman will raise her daughter to be strong, independent, and don't need no nigga. Independent and negotiable. We negotiate with her. Listen to me. This is them in parentheses what they're saying. We negotiate with her. Through her, by her, we negotiate her at will. They negotiate with the woman. They make deals with her. We'll give you wick. You don't even get it, do you? We'll give you all this stuff, but no man, okay? We'll do this for you. We'll put you in school. We'll give you this and that, but no man, okay? We'll do this, we'll do that for you, but no man, okay? Okay? I want you to put him on child support. Give us his name. Give us his social security number. Give us where he work, where he drive, where he live. Yeah, we're going to pursue him. We're going to go get him, but no man. The one with the nigger male offspring, she being frozen with the subconscious fear for his life, will raise him to be mentally dependent and weak. Me and my baby. Y'all ever wonder why you look on Facebook and you got all these single mamas with their kids and every last one of their kids got on Air Jordan this and that? All these expensive shoes, Red Monkey this, True Religion that. All these mamas got all their little boys looking like this and looking like that. Dependency. You raising them to feel like this is what I'm supposed to wear. This is the way I'm supposed to look. This is the way I'm supposed to be. But how many times do you make them get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go outside and just for the heck of it, rake the yard? Go clean the car. Go out there and separate that trash between the trash and the recyclables. Cut the grass. I don't care what you do. Just go outside. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Go outside and do something. You can't do it because it's not a part of you, and I understand it. But that's what they saying. This is what we done. It was a cycle. It was designed. The one with the nigger male offspring, she being frozen with the subconscious fear of her life, will raise him to be mentally dependent and weak, but psychologically strong. In other words, body over mind. Now, in a few years, when these 2 offsprings become fertile for early reproduction, we will mate and breed them and continue the cycle. We will mate and breed them and continue the cycle. That is good, sound, and long-range comprehensive planning. So what has happened now? What now has happened is they have taken this psychologically weak male, the Jordan dude, the one that's sagging with the tattoos everywhere, riding on the rims that's too big for his car. They got to cut the fender wells out. He can't even turn. He can't even go out of town. He can't hit a bump. He can't do nothing because he's trying to showcase and floss. And they made him with the bad bitch. So now the weak nigga and the bad bitch done got together and they done made a weak bad bitch bastard. That's what this child is. Now what they gonna grow up to be? Who knows? I don't know, you don't know, but it's gonna be something bad. I tell you what, mix a mogwai with water, you gonna get a gremlin. You can bet your booty on that. Warning. Possible interloping negatives. Earlier we talked about the non-economic good of the horse and the nigger in their wild and natural state. We talked about the principle of breaking and tying them together for orderly production. Furthermore, we talked about paying particular attention to the female savage and her offspring for orderly future planning. Then more recently, we stated that by reversing the positions of the male and female savages, we create an orbiting cycle
that turns on its own axis forever, unless an absolute phenomenon occurred and reshifts the position of the male and female savages. Our experts warned us about the possibility of this phenomenon occurring, for they say that the mind has a strong drive to correct and recorrect itself over a period of time. If I can touch some substantial original historical base, and they advise us that the best way to deal with this phenomenon is to shave off the brute's mental history and create a multiplicity of phenomenon of illusions, so that each illusion will twirl on its own orbit, something similar to floating balls in a vacuum. Okay, I'm gonna read that again and I'm gonna elaborate. The mind has a strong drive to correct and recorrect itself over a period of time. If I can touch on some substantial original historical base, and they advise us that the best way to deal with the phenomenon is to shave off the brute's mental history and create a multiplicity of phenomena of illusions. Shave off the your history. Education. Make it to where education, going to college, getting a degree, it's not an issue. Learning about yourself, going into black history classes, just history classes, period. Learning about this. Learning about what's been done to you, what's been done to your father, your mother, your forebearers. They took away your history. They took it away. Why do you think black history is only 1 month? Then it's the shortest month of the year. And then here is the greatest part, man. A multiplicity of illusions. What does that mean? They made you think that who you are is determined by the size of your wheels, the amount of bling on your neck, that the next black man is out to get you. You can't even focus on what you got to do because you're too busy doing this every time you turn around. You're too busy watching the next man. You're too busy watching what the next man has. You're too busy chasing, keeping up with the Joneses. A multiplicity of illusions. It's fake. It's false. Our women think that you got to have a big old booty and you got to be half naked or butt naked to be beautiful. An illusion. Twerk team. An illusion. Tattoos everywhere. I'm tatted, don't get me wrong. But come on, your neck, your face, your hands, you can't even cover that up. You can't even go into a job place. You saying, I don't need that. You don't want to get a job because you scared they're going to take away your food stamps. You scared they're going to take away your WIC, your welfare, your hood, your TANF. A multiplicity of illusions. Every time we've had someone that has come along that had the grand idea, the grand scheme that things could change, things could be better, they got rid of them. Martin Luther King, they got rid of him. Malcolm X, they got rid of him. Marcus Garvey, they silenced him. Huey P. Newton, they got rid of him. The Black Panther Party, they got rid of them. Muhammad Ali, they gave them the shakes. Lo and behold, Nelson Mandela, rest in peace. They incarcerated this man for 27 years of his natural life. All of these political prisoners. Tookie Williams, don't get me wrong, he was one of the original creators and founders of the Crip gang. But once he made a change, and anybody could change, that's why Jesus died, for grace, for forgiveness, for second chance. And he tried to make a change, and he said, hey, I know I did wrong. I know I did this. I was a product of the machine. I was a product of my environment. But let me go back out here. I know what to do now. I got control of them. They said, They killed him. I'm not saying what he did was right, but when he wanted to make it right, they got rid of him. Larry Hoover. He knows what he did. He knows what he built. When he wants to get out, he wants to try to talk and make it right to get the youngsters, get control of them. I'm not saying these guys were right in what they did. God knows I'm not. But when they want to try to get it right, Now, here's the funny thing. They knew possible interloping negatives. I'm going to show you something. as a black man, if you get a record and you go to jail, even though you pay your debt to society, you know the first thing you lose? Your right to vote. Then you lose the right to carry a firearm. So, guess what? Now, you're a non-productive member of society. You cannot get a job because you have a record. You can't vote to make any changes, and you can't defend yourself against the changes that they make. Interloping negatives. They have designed it to where once they pull us in the system, they got you in the system. The creation of multiplicity or phenomenon of illusion entails the principle of crossbreeding the nigger and the horse, as we stated above, the purpose of which is to create a diversified division of labor, thereby creating different levels of labor and different values of illusion at each connecting level of labor. I'm going to read that again. Create a diversified division of labor, thereby creating different levels of labor and different values of illusion at each connecting level of labor. What is a diversified value of illusion? Status quo. If you work here, if you make this much money, you live in this type of house, you drive this type of car, you belong to this type of club, you have these type friends, you eat at these type restaurants, you hang in these type circles, you deal in this type this and this type that. Illusions. We are all the same. We are supposed to each one teach one. I'm at work right now. I stopped, I don't care. I had to stop on the banks of the William Lynch River. I had to get this to you because I don't know if anybody else is going to give it to you, but I'm going to give it to you. I'm not an actor. I'm not a theorist. I'm not a, I don't know what you could say I am, a psychologist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm just a person who I have seen and I continue to see the de-evolution of the black man and the black woman and the black family in our society. And I got to give it to you, man. It's right here. The making of a slave. It's right here. It was a program. A program. They designed it. They designed it for us to destroy us. For us to watch us. We hate each other for no reason. We hate each other just because. We hate each other because he got on this outfit and I got on that outfit. He got this size wheels, I don't. He drive this, he worked there. His girl look like this, our girl. Do you know our men hate our women? They despise them. They call them bitches and hoes and tricks and tramps and they break them down. Our men hate our own children. They don't want to spend no time with them. Our women hate our men. They do anything and everything in their power to devalue the man and as a father. You will keep a son away from his daddy because you feel like it. Because you feel like it. That's what you do. We got the East Coast hating the West Coast. Remember the Bad Boy and Death Row? These are millionaires, multi-millionaires, beefing. What the hell? What in the whole realm of hell is a multi-millionaire beefing about? What are you mad about? What? You mad about the way his butler brought him his steak and eggs in the morning and your butler didn't do it that way? Now you mad? Are you real? You rich. You can make so many effective changes out here in the world, but you want to beef. Southern niggas don't like northern niggas. Those that wear red don't like those that wear blue. People that work in companies, the people that work in the warehouses on the forklift don't like the supervisor if he's a black person. Do you know a black person will go into the business or a shop of a foreigner or a white person But then if they go into a business or a shop and they discover another black person owns that and they look outside and they see a nice car, the first thing come out their mouth, man, I ain't going in there. That nigga ain't finna be balling off my money. Nigger mentality. Nigger mentality. If a black person see another black person on the side of the road waving all outdoors for help, they be like, that nigga trying to rob me. If a black person sees another, if a young black person sees an older person, that black or white, older person coming out the door, they'll rush in and run in like, I don't want to get in the way of that food, and let that older person sit right there. Now we know that it's a program. Now we know it's designed. Now we know we were built and designed to hate ourselves. Now the trick is what you gonna do about it. That's the trick. Now what you gonna do about it? Now you know why the black woman is so independent. Now you know why the black man is so hood. So hood. I wear my pants below my waist and I never dance when I'm in this place. I'm so hood. Are you serious? We got songs that say I don't wear my pants above my waist. I like my booty meat to hang out, and I will pay money to come in the club and stand up and hold up the wall and just look hell. Just look hard for no reason. I never dance when I'm in this place. What the hell? What you come to the dance club for? Maybe I'm tripping. Boy, let me tell you something. Young black males, I'm gonna give you one little tidbit of information. I have an associate that's a police officer. He absolutely loves to see young black dudes with their pants sagging. You know why? He knows you can't run anywhere. When they get behind you, you're stuck because you're too busy holding up your pants trying to run. Not only that, if you got dope or anything else in your pocket, you got to lean down like this here to get it. And they know you don't have a weapon because your pants is below your crotch. Where you got a gun at? Nowhere. I tell you who do like it, punks. Gonna be like the Buddha warrior. I know y'all saw that video. He said he like it. Try to get a little bit of it. You better pull your pants up. Listen to me. Stand up. Man up. And pull your damn pants up. We are men. We got to be men. Touch somebody, talk to somebody, tutor somebody, do something. We got to change this. If you want to know more, if you want to contact me, you can find me on Facebook. John Granger. JONGRANGER. I'm on Facebook. John Granger. JONGRANGER. Or you can email me, JEGRANGER007 Again, that's JEGRANGER007 Email me, Facebook me, inbox me. You want to talk about this? Let's talk about it. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I got this whole thing figured out, but I'm saying I got the first part down. I figured out the problem. I know that it's a plan. I know that it's a design. I know that it's a packet that was implemented to keep me in my place. An absolute phenomenon. A virtual cornucopia of illusions. It's not real, y'all. The rap industry, it ain't real. What rapper you know shooting people? And the only ones that doing dumb stuff is really going to jail. Look at T.I. Look at Gucci. I'm not calling these brothers out. They name anything about them. I enjoy some of their music, especially the dance tracks, you know. But all this popping mollies. Do y'all know what the hell a molly is? A molly is a pill that is a mixture of cocaine and heroin. Man, you eating crack. You ingesting crack and heroin. Y'all know what heroin is? Y'all remember Dead Presidents when Chris Tucker was on there and he was a soldier and he died, he was in the house and his eyes was blue? There was heroin in his veins. That's what you taking in your stomach. Crack and heroin. That's what a molly is. I just popped a molly. Woo! You gonna die. You better stop. Promethazine, Serb, Scissor, Lean. That's what killed Pimp C. Rest in peace. Hey man, that stuff ain't nothing to play with. It killed DJ Screw. Y'all better stop. The drugs, the lean, the 4 balls, all these prescription pills, smoking weed, can't get no job, won't get up, sleeping all day, playing PlayStation all night, standing in line 3 o'clock in the morning buying Jordans, got rims on your car so big, you got to dodge every pothole, you can't drive full speed. What the hell wrong? What the hell? Not what in the hell, what the hell wrong? I know y'all see it. I know you see it. It's an illusion. It is not real. This is not real. This is not what God designed for us. We were kings. We were queens. We have to reclaim the throne. If we don't at least reclaim the throne of being kings and queens, can we at least reclaim being fathers and mothers and entrepreneurs, business person and college grads, A5As and Omega Psi Phis and Kappas and Sigmas and Deltas and Zetas? Can we reclaim our thrones? Can we reclaim our children? Can we get rid of bad bitches and bring back divas? Can we get rid of the twerk team and bring back stepping in the name of love? Can we please get rid of all this garbage? It is an illusion. And if you don't see through the illusion, the phenomenon will continue from this 301 years to the next 1,000. Facebook me, John Granger, JONGRANGER. Inbox me, message me, email me, give me a holler. You want to mail me? You can mail me something. As a matter of fact, if you don't have this or you can't find it, I will mail you a copy free. My address is P.O. Box 750-864, Memphis, Tennessee, 38175. Again, John Granger, JONGRANGER, Post Office Box 750-864, Memphis, Tennessee, 38175. Man, get it. Let's figure it out together. I don't have the whole thing tied now, but we can do it together. Time to make that change, y'all. Time to make that change. We can be that change. Right down there, on that bank, 300 years ago, some of our great-grandfathers and great-great-grandfathers and great-great-grandmothers were hung and lynched as slaves. Now all you see is trees and bushes on the bank of Lynches River. Right down there. I'm proud to stand here and say, by God's grace, I'm not a waste. They didn't die for nothing. They didn't deal with what they had to deal with for nothing. They got one. They got a soldier. They got me. I know better, and now it's time to do better. Let's do together. Let's work together. Let's do something better. Like Lowe's said, let's build something together. I found it kind of ironic. I bet you 300 years ago, when they were standing down there and they were talking about us, they never thought that some of us would grow to the point we've grown to, like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry and Bob Johnson and some of our star athletes and actors and entrepreneurs and thespians. It's a blessing. We have overcome a lot of adversity, but we still got a long way to go. And for those of us that aren't balling, we got to start slow, we got to start little, and we got to start low, and we got to work together. All right? Love you. Deuces. Let's make it happen, baby.